Alright, so this is a MegaDough 4-page flyer, or sorry, 4-page brochure. And what these are is when we send off those promo flyers that are only 1 page, if they approve that, then we come back and we make this 4-page, which is the final brochure after that approval. And that's what this is going to be. It's a MegaDough group named Pettis High School, or Pettis. And so we go to their folder because there should already be plenty of stuff in there from making the promo. If it was recent, it'll be near the top under the date if you order them by date. So there it is. It's the Eagles. And you can see the 1-page promo flyer that we already made is in here. So this is definitely the right one. So what we're going to need to do is open the 4-page MegaDough brochure. And lucky for us, the MegaDough one I've already updated to be the most current type of brochure, which means it'll be a little easier than that diamond fundraising one that I just made a video for. So here we are. You can see their logo is the regular kind, not the rotary kind. When it's vertical looking like this, that's just going to be, we consider that just sort of the regular etching into the tumblers. The rotary is the one where it's basically how this logo is horizontal. That would have been a design considered rotary, but on the metal tumblers, in this case MegaDough is using the regular. They really don't often use rotary, but we do have a file for that if it is needed. So the one we're going to open is the 4-page template, the regular one, not the rotary one. So to start off, we're going to open that first because we already have the EPS files made. And this is why I previously said when you're making the black EPS file to also save a gray one. And it's gray in your swatches. It's the in Illustrator on the swatches, it's the gray that is the 5th one over. Unfortunately, there's nothing open, so let's just open the random thing. It's this right here. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's the black is at 60, or the K is at 60. So that's the default gray I use, because the reason for all that is that when you relink them in here, these need to look gray because they're supposed to look like the metal. These are technically supposed to be white, but I use a light gray so that it's all the same, and no one has complained yet. And then there's some items that need to be black. On the hats, they're only black on, let's see, I believe they're black on everything except the black leather. On that, they are like a white or a silver. So it's confusing, but you just have to memorize these things or have it written down, I guess. There's not a way around that. So anyways, we're starting on this fresh. We've opened the template, so the first thing we want to do is save it in our folder that we're working in, which is Pettis Eagles, in the Z-Links area. So we're saving it. Now we can start editing. The name is Pettis Eagles. We need to get the number updated on here, and that's going to be in the web tracker file, which we opened in the other videos. It's in the U drive, and then in a folder called logs is where you will find this file. And we're going to look for Pettis. There it is. Just copy this number, or just memorize it. I mean, you're just going to go type it right here. But I'll close this now because we don't need it. And I'm going to paste it here. So now we've got the setup done. We just need to start linking files in. And we already made these for the promo, so they're already made and can be linked in. Lucky for us, that'll save some time. So just find the folder, MegaDough, Patus, links, and it's the cropped front, because that's the final clear file. And then you're going to do the 24 ounce and then the 15 ounce. And then for all the other items, I've set it up on this to where the logos are just hovering over blanks of the file, which makes it so much easier. Now we don't have to save JPEGs for all of these. We just need to replace the EPS file, which the gray one is linked to 19 items, and I think the black one's linked to 3. So we just find that in our folder. There it is. So there's the black and there's the gray. So we want the gray one for this relink, which is for 19 of these files, and they should all change. So I will turn on display performance high quality just so you can see they all are currently correct. The only ones that aren't are the black ones. So there we go, all this is good to go. Something's a little off on these sizes. They look a little big. I don't know what happened there. I must have had to edit this for something special and it got left that way. It won't hurt anything because they're not overly huge, but they're definitely bigger than real life. And they all look like they're slightly to the right for some reason. Maybe not. I'm just seeing it that way, but something seems off. But that's a side distraction there. So all that's left to fix is the black logos, which we can relink also right there. You can also click them individually and hit Control D. I know where they are over here, so I just do it this way, but either way works. So you find the black one and open. So now those have eagles. We're gonna have to adjust those, but I just want to check that this one's fine. So everything has the correct logo. Now we just need the hats were off a little bit. These were something we had to make very quickly, and they didn't give us. We don't have professional images of the hats or the patches. So these are like someone shot these on a cell phone and I cropped them out of Photoshop. So these are like really awful, but they're all we have currently. So at some point we need to fix that. They don't look that bad printed, but I mean, I can on here, they're pretty ugly. So they're trying to get rid of the brown leather currently, but we also sometimes make the patches match the team color, like if this was red. So just as an example of what you would do, you would click the patch and hit Control D, and under the templates and then brochures, or sorry, templates, squared templates, and then hat pieces, there are some Photoshop files. We only have, I believe, 5 colors of each. It's only a handful of colors for each one, and they're in here. So for the rectangle, if we wanted red, you would select red and double click it, and there's red. And some of them are not, because they were taken on cell phones, they're angled weird and they're janky looking, so you will need to kind of mess with it. In the case of that red one, it was the same shape and size, so that's fine. They aren't all the same shape and size though, because of the weird angle some were taken at. So it's very patched together, but for now this is what we got. So These two look fine enough as they are. You could shrink this a little, but it's not like they have their own sizing when they burn these, so it doesn't really matter if it's slightly large here. It's going to be totally different when they burn it anyways. So this it's basically done. We've got everything. Oops. And we just need to double check that everything's fine, which it is. And this stays the same. So I'll go ahead and click save. And then export. But leave this open after you export because you're going to need to pull some things out of here, which you will see after this. MegaDough, Petas, and I'll leave the name as is. It's PDF. Save. You can leave all this as it is. Oh, links to missing files. It looks like it's just a patch image that we don't even need, so I'll just hit OK. I don't know what the deal is there. It's not, it must be a patch image that was off hidden to the side or under a layer or something. So we're done with it, but I'm going to leave it open. So we have the final exported PDF that we need. But on these MegaDough ones for online, they also want what we call solo images, which are just JPEGs of each part of this. There is some shortcuts, so we're just going to go ahead and start working on it, and you'll see what I mean. For example, anything that has multiples over 2, we have what we call a fan image, which just means an image of all the colors in one shot. So in the area where you always get Photoshop templates from, which is Brochure for Tumblers templates, new 2021 templates, and squared templates 2021. There's a a TUM 20 fan image, along with a TUM 16 and everything else on the brochure. I'm just going to go in order of the brochure because that's how I track what I've already done. We already have these, so we don't need to make those. We have individual images of them, but we need the KOSB and P and the hats. I don't have a template of the hats, so that I just make fresh each time by copying them out of here. So we need to pull those out. I guess I should point out that while some things do have sort of a streamlined method to them, on these newer brochures like this, where it has a lot of new items that were pieced together, we don't yet have it streamlined with templates as well. So I'm just gonna have to, you basically just have to wing it and I'll show you how I do that. So let's get this one out of the way first. Whoops. We're gonna relink to the EPS that's in the folder. So you use black because it's got settings that color correct it to gray or overlay to gray. So in this case you select the black one. And we're going to save KOSB. You need to navigate to the folder you're working in and Z-links in there, and just save as a JPEG with KOSB for black. And then we're going to do P for pink. I just wanted to do these real quick and get the koozies out of the way. Oops. It's pretty tedious. P. So we're done with that. I'm gonna close it because we need those hats, and what I usually do is just make a new layer or new file altogether with a 1000 by 1000 size at, let me see if I can't remember if I was using 300 resolution or defaulting to 72. It'll have it up. It looks like I was defaulting to 72. So yeah, 1000 by 1000 at 72 DPI. And you're just gonna highlight the two hats and make sure they're all that's selected, which the way I do that is I highlight everything and then I just click the background to get rid of it, and now you just have the logos, patches, and hats selected. So you hit Control C to copy, you go in here and paste. You can, when you see them, you just rotate them, and I size them up to the edges as far as that'll let me, and I don't worry about touching it up any more than that. So about right there. And that's it. They just need to see the mock-up of them, and it's okay for them to be in one image in this case. Like our fan images for the tumblers are like this too, where they have all the options in one image. So then you just go save it as a JPEG, and you title this file as just hats. Oops, I was already in the right folder. So we're in the correct folder. Make sure it's a JPEG and title it hats. They just use this for the online shop basically. So we got that one out of the way, and we don't need this open anymore. And so we've finished everything there. We just need to make the individual images for all of this, and these first two and these have fan images, so I'll show you those, and then we'll do the last ones after that. So we need the mugs, ceramic mugs fan is the file name. We need the TUM20 fan image, and we need the TUM16 fan image. So I'm opening all of those at once. And that's all they are, is just literally like a fan of the colors. It's really simplified. It's just to show them that there's other options besides black. For some reason it's taken a second to open. Let's see. Hopefully it can do it. There we go. So you just need to select the right type of logo layer and relink to that. So we're going to have, oops, just use the black EPS file again. So we got that, and we can go ahead and save the whole thing as a JPEG. Inside the Z-Links folder again, of course, and leave the title as it is. So with that one, and we can do the TUM21. Also make sure when you finally close these, just select no on the save. I mean, it doesn't necessarily hurt anything if you save over it, but once a new logo is saved in there, you could potentially alter that later by accident and mess up that school's logo, so it's best not to ever save over when you close out. Okay, so we just need to relink this one. Most of your tasks are going to be like this, where you're just, making a new brochure or relinking old things into a new brochure. Lots of relinking and saving down JPEGs. That's lots of stuff like that over and over. So that's just the general, the regular stuff is always going to be about like this. So we got that file relinked, and we just save it as a JPEG. in our folder again. The way these files are organized, it's kind of, once again, you could reorganize it a certain way, but they're layered because sometimes the wider image falls behind the front. That's why it was had to do with the realistic layering of them. That's why those are not organized at the top like the others are. Relink one of these and it should relink all of them for you. So we'll go find the file. There we go, and we just save it as a JPEG. So we're almost done. We just got a couple more. Let's see what we're missing. We've got all this. We just need the 28 ounce HSBC and SWBBK, which we have the HSBC open, so I just need to open SWBBK and the 28 ounce. Oh, I accidentally clicked. I meant to, I guess I'll have to drag them in there. So go ahead and relink this. And MegaDough. And then we can save it as a JPEG. So I'm going to close that now that we're done with it. And we just need to do this last couple. Relink, MegaDough. So save as a JPEG. Links, JPEG. Make sure it's only on black or saying black. Save it. And then switch to white. And save as. And we got white. So we're done. Let's double check the brochure. We've saved all those. Got the hats. We already had those and we have that. So, and we already exported this as a PDF. So everything there is done. You can go ahead, when it asks you to save there, you can hit yes, just in case something changed. Just because I'm worried I missed the number, I'm double checking. 18855. I can't remember if I fixed it or not, or changed it, so I'm just double checking that on Pettus High School. 18855, so we're good. I just really wanted to make sure so I don't have to worry about that. So we can email them the finished PDF. And now that those files are done, what I usually do, Diana already knows where those are. I sometimes still paste the path into the email in case someone else happens to have to do it. 99.9% of the time she's the one who works on it. Probably all the time she is. It's just a safety measure. I just paste the path in. So after we attach this 4-page, make sure you don't attach the old one that's 1 page. You want the 4-page that we just did. So we're attaching that. And then I'm going to go to that folder that we already had open and just copy go into the Z-links and copy the address as text, which you right click over that to get. And you can write something like files already. Actually, I should write images already. She already knows where to go for it. This is really for if anyone else needed it. So now they'll get the full brochure back and the location of the images so they can upload those to the web store. So that is done now. And that's how you do a 4-page for MegaDough. Usually those are after they've approved a promo, which is a 1-pager, and that usually means you've got some of the images already made, so at least some of it is half done for you by then. So that's a positive to those. But that's it for now.